So we've got a 2-for-1 special in today's video for you guys because we are not only sharing a delicious zero waste smoothie recipe at the end of this video that you won't want to miss, we are also talking about 10 ways to reduce food waste at home. So I had to narrow the list down so that this video wouldn't go on and on and on, but if you guys have any tips and tricks that I leave out, be sure to comment below and also let us know if you want to see a part 2. So if you guys have been following us here at EatMoveRest for a while, you know we are about to make a big move from Nebraska down to Florida. So we have really been trying to pare down a lot of what we own, and we're going by the less is more approach when we make our move to Florida. So we have done things like started cloth diapering, and long ago we started composting. Lest we also mention we went plant-based. That was kind of where we started. We did it for our health and then soon realized that it was also better for the animals and the environment. So this is kind of a bonus tip before we get into the top 10. If you really want to eliminate food waste, go vegan, go plant-based. It takes a lot of 3 things to raise livestock. It takes land or space, a lot of feed, and a lot of water to raise cows to maturity, at which point they are led to slaughter, and we are only left with a small portion of edible meat. The rest is discarded as waste. Instead, if we could eliminate that process and just devote more of our farmland and agriculture into crops that we could consume right from the source, there would be far less food waste, far less carbon emissions, more fresh water for us as well. So we could feed a lot more people with a lot more space if it wasn't getting funneled through livestock, and it would be so much better for the planet and for your health. So this plant-based lifestyle is truly a grassroots movement. We love that this is so contagious. It's spreading like wildfire. So many brands and companies are jumping on board with things like compostable packaging and our absolute favorite Sun Warrior. You guys probably don't know this about them, but their tubs are actually made from recycled milk cartons. So how cool of an upgrade is that? Taking dairy and milk cartons, recycling it and repackaging it with a plant-powered protein. That's pretty cool in my book. They also have started selling in bulk, which is also awesome for 2 reasons. It cuts down on waste when it comes to plastic, and it's especially important right now to be stocking up. If you like Sun Warrior, you can always use EatMoveRest to get 20% off. It's linked below. Not only do they have raw, vegan, organic plant proteins that are super clean and taste amazing, which you'll find out at the end with our recipe, they also have greens powders, omega-3s, mineral blends, all kinds of good things to keep you at peak performance and health. So we're gonna talk now about those tips. Tip number 1. So yes, we are fruit lovers, but oftentimes, especially in the summer when it gets hot and muggy, things sit on the countertop too long and they start to go bad really quickly. So my top tip is to freeze fruits and veggies that are about to go bad. We like to rinse our berries if they're looking like they're on their last leg and pop them in the freezer, and then they are good to go for smoothies. Next on our list is making our own veggie broth or veggie stocks with leftover veggie scraps. So when we're slicing our onions and the garlic and all of that stuff, there's a lot of waste that goes straight into the compost, but instead what you can do is add it into a Tupperware or some kind of catch-all dish, and then when you have enough scraps, you can boil and make your own veggie stock to make your soups and stews with, and it's so full of minerals and vitamins, and it just adds a whole nother depth of flavor to all of your soups and stews. Tip number 3 is compost. To be honest, we were clogging up our disposal in the sink way too often, trying to throw too many scraps down the drain. It felt so wasteful, so instead, when we started recycling, we also started composting. We have a bucket under the sink, so it's easy access, and when that fills up, we take it out to our compost bin in the backyard and dump it and turn the soil, and then eventually you will be able to take that compost soil and put it into your garden beds, and it is phenomenal for growing fruits and veggies. That leads me to my next tip, number 4. This is an awesome DIY project that can be fun to get your kids involved with. Regrow your veggies especially. So you can do it with fruits and veggies. So I got this idea from this guy I follow on Instagram. I'll put his handle right here. His videos are super entertaining and informative. Basically, he takes a lot of different fruits and veggies and uses the scraps to regrow them. So for example, if you're chopping a salad and you slice the white tip off of your green onion, instead of throwing it in your compost, he pops it in a glass of water and it sprouts a new green onion. I've also seen this done with celery stalks, romaine leaves, strawberry tops, and pineapple tops. So you can repurpose a lot of your fruit and veg and grow your own. Like I said, try it with your kids and let me know how it goes. Number 5, make smoothie popsicles. So speaking of kiddos, a lot of the times we pour smoothies that are too big for Max and he just doesn't want to finish them. Rather than dumping smoothies down the drain that you or your kids don't finish, pour them into ice trays or popsicle molds and they're delicious to have left over. You can throw the ice cubes into a new smoothie the next day, or you can have some popsicles on a hot summer day. Tip number 6 is also putting your ice cube trays to good use by freezing your leftover sauces or dips or dressings, or even just cans of food that you don't use all of. So for example, a lot of times we make curries with canned coconut cream or coconut milk, and instead of leaving it in the can or putting it in the fridge, you can just pop it into the freezer and have little cubes that you can add into things like smoothies or into another curry that you make down the road. The same holds true for things like a red pasta sauce. You can put it in the trays and use it later. Tip number 7 is to make crackers or muffins with your juice pulp. We don't juice very often, but when we do, I feel really guilty discarding all of the pulp when a lot of nutrition and flavor is still packed into there. This dry consistency of the pulp makes the perfect medium to add into muffins and other baked goods. For example, if you juice a lot of carrots and apples, it's perfect for that. Or you can take your green pulp and make some crackers, add in some chia or flax to hold it all together and bind it, and you can either bake it on the low setting or dehydrate it. With the addition of a few herbs and spices and salt and pepper, you can make these puppies taste amazing, and they're the healthiest way that I've ever found to fulfill that crispy, crunchy, salty craving that we all get. Worst case, if it's a flop, you can make dog treats out of them. Tip number 8 is kind of a 2-for-1, so I'm gonna give you my favorite secret for prolonging the life of your herbs and your avocados, because these tend to go bad pretty quickly. So for avocados, what I do is I let them ripen to the point where they're ripe on the countertop, at which point I move them to the refrigerator, and they seriously stay good for so much longer. They don't turn brown or mushy inside, so pop them in the refrigerator as soon as they're ripe. My other tip for herbs is to fill a glass jar with filtered water. Cut the ends off of your herbs like you would a bouquet of flowers so they're nice and fresh and ready to take up water. Cilantro and parsley in particular do really well in the refrigerator for almost up to 2 weeks like this. And a new one that Dusty just shared with me is to take your turmeric and ginger and pop it in the freezer instead of the refrigerator, and it will keep it from getting shriveled up, and it's also much easier to grate into your dishes this way. Tip number 9, meal plan or meal prep so that when you go to the store, you're only buying what you really truly need. So we've both been guilty of this, overspending because we think we need one of everything, and in reality we don't end up using a lot of that and it just goes to waste. So one of the best things you can do if you aren't really a meal planner is check out the EatMoveRest meal planner. It's linked below. We are adding new recipes every single month. And my last and final tip is do some research on parts of your foods that you might be discarding that you can actually be including into recipes like smoothies. So for example, strawberry tops, something I don't usually chew on, but I will most definitely throw it into a smoothie and blend it up because it has a ton of flavor and nutrition. And kiwi is another one. I actually personally love eating kiwi skins. I think they taste amazing, but if the texture isn't vibing with you, again, throw that into a smoothie. And my other one is beet greens. A lot of times we let them wilt in the refrigerator and then pull them off and throw them away, but instead, pull them off, rinse them right away, and you can use them in your juices and smoothies. If you guys have any other tricks like this for fruits and veggies, let me know in the comments. All right, you guys, this is what I like to call a scrappy smoothie. So we're gonna be making a strawberry kiwi collagen smoothie. Here is what you're gonna need. 2 frozen ripe freckled bananas, a handful of strawberries, strawberry tops included, 2 kiwis, skin included, a handful of beet greens or other greens of your choice, and I also found some pineapple cores. So I've been saying this for years, blend your pineapple cores, don't discard them. They are great because they're loaded with bromelain, which is an enzyme that's amazing for inflammation. It helps to cut down on inflammation, and it's just gonna add even more oomph to this delicious smoothie. We'll also be adding in 1 scoop of Sun Warrior's new active vanilla protein, which I absolutely love, and I'm gonna add in a scoop of Sun Warrior's Beauty Greens Collagen Booster. This recipe is loaded with vitamin C, which also helps your body produce its own collagen. It's got tons of vitamin C thanks to the strawberries and the kiwis. Super good. Hope you get to go and enjoy this scrappy smoothie and utilize some of these zero food waste tips. Leave your comments below. Let me know if you want to see a part 2 because there is a lot to expand on. And also share your zero food waste tips below as well. Make sure to check out one of our older videos where we talk about our top food storage tips that'll also help prolong the life of your produce. Be sure to check out our meal planner and give Sun Warrior a try. Until next time, eat, move, rest your best. Bye guys. There are 3 things we all do every day and we could all be doing them better. Eat, move, and rest.
We're Dusty, Erin, Max, Olivia, and Bo, and we're the Stanzics.
We aspire to live a plant-centric, faith-forward, healthy lifestyle and welcome all of the adventures that accompany it. Join us every week as we blend, chop, juice, run, lift, ride, and master our minds in between on the ultimate quest to find better balance, deeper connection, and true happiness within.